Bushido Breaker is a 2 to 4 player hidden movement card game involving both deduction and calculated risks. You choose to play as either the ninja or as the samurai, while your opponent chooses the rival faction. As the ninja, your goal is to get to the shogun's chamber and assassinate him. But before this can be done, you must sabotage enough alarms or kill all the samurai. As the samurai, your goal is to thwart the ninja's attack by either killing him or noticing him enough to capture him. The setup shown here is for 2 players. Under every location card excluding the shogun's chamber, there will be a samurai card. Before the game starts, each player gets 11 action cards and secretly chooses 1 special card. As the samurai, you grab 5 katana cards, 2 yumi, 1 search room, 1 move, 1 check alarm, and 1 check exits card. Now you choose one of the 4 samurai special cards. Each of these cards has its own very unique one-time use ability. Now for the ninja's hand. As the ninja, you grab 5 kunai cards, 2 shuriken, 1 hide, 1 move, 1 sabotage alarm, and 1 smoke bomb card. You then choose one of the 4 ninja special cards. It is worth noting that for the ninja, both the move and hide cards can only be used 2 turns in a row. The ninja also receives this tracking notepad, where he or she will write down the action card used and at which location for every round, like this example shown. This not only helps the ninja keep from forgetting his or her place, but also discourages cheating. The ninja now secretly decides where he will start, but it must be at one of the 2 entrances. I'll play from the perspective of the ninja. After having chosen, let's say I choose entrance 1. I'll now decide which action card to use and what target I'm aiming to kill, if there is one. It is important to note that all action cards involving a separate location can't be done diagonally. I could potentially choose kunai in order to kill the samurai at my location, shuriken to kill a samurai at an adjacent location, which could only be this one from where I'm at, hide and stay in this location to potentially confuse the samurai, move to another location, or sabotage the alarm at my current location. With this setup, the ninja must sabotage 3 out of the 5 alarms, or kill all the samurai in order to win. I will choose to sabotage this alarm, so I grab this action card and lay it face down. I then write down what I am doing and where on my tracking notepad. The player playing as the samurai gets lucky and chooses the samurai at the same location as me, but he chooses katana and lays it face up. Katana is a one-time use card, so after this turn it will be discarded face up. I tell him that it's wrong and my action still takes place. Since I successfully sabotaged the alarm in this location, I now turn the card over to show that the alarm is disabled. I don't reveal the card I used, and I bring it back to my hand, because sabotage alarm has infinite uses. Even though I didn't reveal this card, the samurai knows my location and the card I used, only because this location card is now disabled. If my opponent had chosen check alarm, which also has infinite uses, at my location, I would have had to reveal that I attempted to sabotage that alarm, and I would also have to check the box on my tracking notepad and show that I have been noticed. Now it's the next turn. I'm going to choose move in order to secretly move to this location. The samurai at this location chooses katana once again, which is wrong. This katana is also discarded face up. My action successfully takes effect, so I don't reveal my card and I bring it back into my deck, because move is also an infinite use card. Now I'm in this location, so I write what I did in the location I am now in on my notepad. This time I'll choose Shuriken, and choose to throw it at the samurai who is still in my original location. Shuriken can only be used against targets in adjacent locations, not in the same location as you. My opponent chooses check alarms in the location I'm currently in, which is wrong. Since my action was successful, I flip over the samurai card in this location, showing that he is dead, and I then discard my shuriken face down. My opponent then puts his card back in his hand since it has infinite uses. Now my opponent may think that when I secretly moved earlier, I had actually chosen to hide in that same location and used kunai in that location to kill him. This is where the samurai's confusion begins. I'm going to move into the shogun's castle, so I lay this card face down, while my opponent chooses what he will do. Let's say he points to the samurai in my current location and chooses to move him over to the same location I'm moving to. He then moves him up, so now there are two samurai at this location, and since the location has a nightingale floor, I have to say chirp. Nightingale floors were made to make a chirping sound when walked upon in feudal Japan. My opponent now knows for a fact that I'm in the location with a nightingale floor. We grab our cards and bring them back to our hands. I'm going to choose Shuriken against the samurai in Shogun's Corridor this turn. My opponent chooses that same samurai and chooses Yumi against my location. Yumi means archery bow. This means that the samurai successfully counters my shuriken and kills me. But wait, this is when I throw out Smoke Bomb in order to negate this turn. I still have to discard the shuriken and the Smoke Bomb in a separate face-up discard pile. Smoke Bomb is sort of a get-out-of-jail-free card that can be used once. My opponent then discards his card face-up as well. I'm now going to choose one of the two samurai on my location to use kunai against. Uh-oh, my opponent chooses katana. But he chose the wrong samurai in my location. This means that the samurai I had targeted still dies. We both discard our cards, mine face down, and my opponent's once again face up. Now, I'll move back down to Jigoku Dojo. My opponent chooses the samurai in my old location and does check alarm, so he is unsuccessful. I choose to sabotage the alarm while my opponent moves his samurai to the Shogun's Corridor. I'm going to move back up to the Shogun's Castle. Not knowing that I already used both my shurikens, my opponent chooses the samurai in entrance 2 to shoot the Yumi at Jigoku Dojo. Now I have to chirp once again, revealing my location. I'm going to sabotage this third and final alarm uncontested by the samurai, because he has nobody there in that location to counter it. Knowing that, he just throws out Search Room in his location since it's infinite in order to waste his turn. Now I move into the Shogun's Corridor, and my opponent uses another throwaway turn. He is now nearly certain I am in the same location as his two samurai. The question is, will I move straight into the Shogun's chamber, use kunai on one of the samurai, hide in this location, or am I actually in this location at all? While I'm thinking of what to do, my opponent lays down his special, Revelation. This card means I have to show him my last 4 actions on the tracking notepad. Now he knows where I am and has a better idea of what I did earlier. I'm going to try moving straight into the Shogun's chamber and win the game. My opponent chooses check exits in my location, and he notices me. At this point, I have to check the noticed box on my notepad. One more time noticed, and I will be captured. I know he has less katanas than I have kunai, so maybe I could hide and make him waste the last ones before killing him. I will go ahead and choose a samurai to use my kunai against. He chooses the same samurai and chooses katana. I reveal my failed kunai, but I still have a trick up my sleeve. I then place my special card, Metsubushi, face up. Metsubushi is a blinding powder blown in your opponent's eyes, and the card itself acts to negate katana and still kills my target with the kunai. Now it's down to me and one other samurai. I choose move to try risking it in order to get into the shogun's chamber, and my opponent chooses search room unsuccessfully. That's it. The ninja has won the game.